said it 100 times, I'm a big horror fan, and I think it's a genre that a lot of people who are horror fans are very forgiving on. We will watch pretty much anything to see if we're going to find the next masterpiece or the next thing that just kind of tickles you in the right spot. So on my quest to just watch horrors at random, I stuck on Rites of Spring, and I've got to say straight off the bat, it was very an uneven movie. It seems to be two tales that kind of get interwoven later on in the movie, but they shouldn't really be together. The first story is you have a sort of news report about this wealth of farming land in this area that's just doing particularly well, where everybody else is failing. And you have this farmer who kidnaps two women, and he is doing some sort of ritual to a god, a monster, something or other, and that's basically how he's getting these amazing crops. Then you have this other story of a kidnapping that kind of goes awry. These criminals break into a house, steal a kid, kill the wife, and they tell the husband that he has to pay the ransom to get his kid back. Would you believe it? These guys end up on the farm as their hideout when some sort of monster is on the loose as the girls break free and tries to kill the girls and the kidnappers, and it all kind of comes together in one big glorious mess of a movie that was really disappointing and was an absolute struggle for me just to make it through to the end. See, a lot of the things I had problems with was the characters themselves. Take the two girls for instance that get kidnapped. One seems to be unconscious most of the time, and the other one seems to be a professional screamer. That is her job, and I found it to be extremely irritating to the point where I couldn't wait for her to die. And that's not really the place you should be in most horror movies. Then you have the farmer who seems to be almost incompetent at what he's doing. He's praying to this monster, this god, but he seems to have it chained up under his barn, which doesn't really make sense either, because he's got like crosses with rams, skulls and things like that all over his farm. And then you have the robbers or the kidnappers who just don't seem to trust each other, which is fair enough, but they don't seem to like each other, which is fair enough again. But then they do the most wackiest things. They don't think things through. They do the complete opposite of what they should do, and they seem almost borderline incompetent. This movie annoyed me. I wasn't a fan of it. It doesn't look particularly great. The makeup special effects aren't that great, but it's low budget, so we can kind of, forgive that a little bit. What we can't forgive is a sort of crappy storyline, which this movie has. I thought Rites of Spring had some potential, but it throws it all away fairly early on. I didn't like the characters, I didn't like the monster, I didn't like the storyline, I didn't like the pacing of the actual thing at all. I didn't like the way it looked, and I particularly was not happy with the ending. Overall, it's a movie that just kind of had everything that I didn't like in a movie. Like I said, it was a slog to get through. It's something that I'm hopefully going to wipe from my head and never think about ever again. Hopefully. And I gave Rites of Spring 1 star out of 5. And it gets a star because some of the gore was well done, and I'm feeling very generous today. But other than that, Rites of Spring is a big no-no. If you've seen it, let me know. Did I miss something? Is it really good? Is it subversive? Is it got something that I just missed? Or is it just generic tosh, the kind that we see every other week released in video on demand? Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on the movie, and I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.